Half-and-half scarves on sale outside Wembley Park tube station featured their images, and it really did feel as if this was a duel between managers as much as any of the stars on parade at Wembley. Tottenham's Mauricio.Pochettino, with his reputation for stylish football and faith in young players, is top of Manchester United's hit list as they consider the permanent successor to Jose Mourinho. Interim appointment Ole Gunnar Solskjaer started with 5 wins, but this was his first real test with United unable to beat any of their Big Six rivals this season. Selection Solskjaer resisted the urge to recall Romelu Lukaku and alter the system, which has worked well for him. Marcus Rashford continued up front, flanked by Jesse Lingard and Anthony Martial, with Lukaku on the bench and no sign of Alexis Sanchez, who was injured in the FA Cup against Reading but trained with the team all week in Dubai. Jan Vertonghen was back in defense for Pochettino after a month out, and Heung-min Son was making his final appearance before he reports for international duty with South Korea at the AFC Asian Cup. Ben Davies replaced Danny Rose at left-back.TACTICSPochettino's shortage of options forced him into his midfield diamond, but it has proved effective in recent weeks, with Son and Harry Kane up front, Dele Alli operating in behind them, and Christian Eriksen deeper still. Spurs settled first, dominating possession and moving the ball, forcing United deep, but without carving chances or threatening David de Gea's goal in the first half. United, with pace up front, were prepared to invite Tottenham onto them, defend in numbers around the edge of the penalty area, and pick their moments on the counter-attack. It may not necessarily be the much-vaunted United way, but without the recovery speed of Davinson Sanchez at the back for Spurs, it proved effective. Rashford's opener in the closing moments of the first half was the perfect illustration. Kieran Trippier was careless with a straight pass in midfield. Paul Pogba released Rashford and his finish was clinical. CHANGESMoussa Sissoko's first half injury was a serious blow for Tottenham. With Eric Dier, Wanyama and Mousa Dembele all injured, Sissoko has featured heavily through the festive period. Eventually, something had to give, and it gave.Pochettino's call to send on Erik Lamela rather than teenager Oliver Skipp was adventurous, perhaps based on the shape of the game with Spurs in control, but it was a risk and his team were vulnerable without his physical presence. Pogba became more influential as an attacking force, creating the goal and forcing 2 saves from Hugo Lloris, and the contest was far more open. Son operated from wide on the left in the second half and Tottenham shifted into a 4-2-3-1 shape. They were vulnerable, but created much more, and de Gea was required to be at his best, producing terrific saves to foil Kane and Alli. Pochettino stood sentry most of the game on the edge of his technical area, navy blue scarf natty knotted and overcoat fastened up. Only occasionally did he take his seat. to consult his backroom staff. Solskjaer spent most of the first hour lurking in the back row of the United benches with assistants Mike Phelan and Michael Carrick both taking turns to bark instructions from the side of the pitch. The United boss came to the touchline as Tottenham generated more pressure in the last half hour of the game, and De Gea began to make a series of saves, offering direction and encouragement. Solskjaer sent on Lukaku for Martial in an attempt to hold up the ball and relieve the pressure. Rashford moved wide to the left, and United dug in to protect the clean sheet. With De Gea proving impossible to beat, Pochettino turned to Fernando Llorente. Off came wings. Spurs had Eriksen as the deepest midfield, with Alli and Lamela on either side, with three strikers up front. United countered with an extra defender, Diogo Dalot, a full-back by trade, on to take Lingard's place wide on the right and Scott McTominay on in stoppage time for Pogba. Solskjaer's team defended quite superbly. De Gea's saves were vital, of course, but Ander Herrera and Nemanja Matic shielded the centre-halves who made important blocks and challenges. Outcome 6 in a row for Solskjaer, and a second successive home defeat in the Premier League for Pochettino. United's revival going nicely. The top four does not look so far away as it did when they sacked Mourinho and the new boss was cheerleading the away fans after the final whistle. Tottenham's concerns magnified by the sight of Kane limping off at the end in clear discomfort.